So, heading into a very important season for the franchise, and with lots of heavy expectations, on Klay Thompson when he comes back, and Jordan Poole to take that leap to help this team, and Steph Curry to still be at 34 years of age, still be that player he was last season, and he will continue to be. I feel like it's going to be a very, interesting season for the Golden State Warriors. I feel like they have the biggest upside, and in the entire NBA. With, I believe they can. I can see them being a first seed or even an 8th seed playing team. Like depending on injuries and depending on, how Draymond Green ages and if he's able to still be that defensive player of the year candidate he's always been, and Steph Curry, if he can maintain the same level he was at last year, along with the elevation, of Jordan Poole, see how he does. The young guys as well, James Wiseman, who I think in the Western Conference, with the level of talent of bigs and the standard that there is in the West, all the big men, AD, Nikola Jokic, Rudy Gobert, you're gonna need James Wiseman to come along, or for Golden State to find, that small ball, that that depth lineup part two, if they can find that, with Kuminga. And develop that, or bring back Iggy. The chemistry that they have with that depth lineup they had, still remains in there. With 37-year-old Iggy, they could find some type of lineup, But I wanted to say the main event, or the biggest, and most interesting thing going into next season will be the development of Jordan Poole. In my opinion, I feel like this guy is going to be special. From what I've seen, he has all the capabilities of being a superstar, and then we've seen it all. All in the press with Steve Kerr. Everyone involved in Golden State, telling us that he's the hardest worker in the gym, and especially during the lockdown period, he was the one that was in, the most, he puts in the most work, and you can see it, especially the jump he took in year 2, and from where he was at in year 1, where people were calling him, and he statistically he was the worst shooter in the NBA. He was shooting like 28%, which is very poor, and I think it was him and Westbrook were the worst shooters in the entire NBA in his rookie year. And to look at where he's come now, where he's one of the most dangerous threats from all 3 levels, and when you add that element to when Klay comes back, and if he's able to come back to anything like he was before his injury, then you have a 3-headed monster, and it just takes the team to a whole nother level, But for now, they're gonna have to rely on Jordan Poole and Stephen Curry, which I believe will be the starting lineup. And it's the lineup they ran yesterday against Portland, where Jordan Poole went out for 30 points. But it is preseason, so we're gonna have to wait out and see what happens next. But yeah, other than that, I believe let's see how Draymond Green, who also is who holds the defense together by himself, literally and figuratively, he's the main cog on that end, and it's the reason why they were a top 5 defense last season. If he can get back to 30%, it will make a big difference, But they do not need he's shooting this year anyway, as they did sign Otto Porter Jr., who's a career 40% shooter from 3. They also signed Nemanja Bjelica, who's a career 38% shooter from 3, who I think will make a major difference, allowing the Warriors to have some depth and size, at the forward and at the center spots, especially having a big to play to stretch the floor, when needed be, and be able to go 5 out. Very important. Andre Iguodala brings back, that playmaking and that veteran presence, that championship know-how and ability to operate, in high leverage moments, the IQ, especially his chemistry with Steph. I believe he has the second most assists to Steph, or third, so that chemistry is going to work, and we've seen that story before. A very big component of this season also will be James Wiseman, the second year big, who had a very slow and very slow, but he shows very a lot of signs of a lot of signs in his rookie year. A lot of flashy plays and highlights, but he had a struggle. He struggled to adjust to the NBA in his first year. And I know, and as all bigs do, it takes a while to adjust to the pace of the NBA. And we also forget that he only played 3 games in college, and he was still finding his feet. And then when he went down, it was very, very bad for Golden State, and him especially, as in year 2 summer is always, when you work on your game and you figure out, after your rookie year, the weaknesses in your game, and you go and work on it. But yeah, James Wiseman, he's a very big piece of it. At 7'2", and his athleticism, like what he brings to the table and his size and his potential is through the roof, But the rookies, you got Jonathan Kuminga and Damien and Moses Moody. Jonathan Kuminga has shown was very impressive in the summer league. Showed a very dynamic ability to be aggressive. He showed very athletic as well. Very acrobatic in the paint, elite defender, good DHO guy, and he's shown the ability for me to be able to guard 4 or 5 positions. And I think he has a great potential to be that multi-positional defender and even impact the team in the playoffs. And on to Damien Lee, onto Moses Moody. Moses Moody, I believe, has a great potential to be a major contributor in his rookie year. He's shown the ability to defend, to cut, to hit wide open shots, which is what Golden State were missing last year with Kelly Oubre. The likes of Kelly Oubre and Damien Lee, Michael Mulder really struggled to shoot the free ball when the score was close. He struggled to adapt and hit open shots. And Alan Smailagic and Kevon Looney. There was not really much consistent shooting alongside Steph, which showed in the last couple of games where they were struggling to score, and they were relying on Jordan Poole, who just come on the scene to be a major scorer on the floor spacer. And that's definitely taking a step up. Also, we have the anti-vaxxer, Andrew Wiggins. He's a very special case. He's inconsistent and consistent at the same time. He's giving them. His ability for me last year to become an elite defender. Obviously, something he worked on with all his staff. Steve Kerr. Shout out to those guys. They developed him on that end. He's become a very consistent defender, a point of attack defender, especially. Being able to guard 1-2s, 1-2s and 3s. So that gave that's the reason why the Warriors are very high on him, and also his ability to attack the basket and use his athleticism. He's a once in a generation type athlete. So the Warriors are very happy to have him around. To be a point of attack defender, even though his salary suggests that he should be a superstar player. But what he brings to the table on that, and also his ability to to give you 18 points a night, 18 to 20 points a night, kind of consistently, nothing above and nothing to below that, very consistent there on that end. And then we have Steve Kerr, and the Warriors training staff, the complete U-turn they've made, developing players and being open-minded to adjusting, bringing in Kenny Atkinson from the Brooklyn Nets. He was I believe he has a big imprint on Warriors plans this season and the playing style and just the modern way of playing and operating. But yeah, look forward.